It's the Prez back with the king of auto-tune, JBC. We were a little late because we were talking about the king of auto-tune.
Yes.
T-Pain.
The king.
The king. I said no, you're the king.
Oh, yeah. No.
You know what I did last night? I woke up at 4 a.m. and I started building a golf lineup,
That's weird.
That's weird. And I put together a parlay, which was pretty good, except for Davis Riley. And then you know what I thought about? I thought about the thing beside you that is a shelf that I'm now noticing. Again, I always thought it was a CRT monitor, like an old school. It looks right from my vantage point. And I thought this morning, I just laid there in bed, I was like, why does Mark use a CRT monitor? So
there actually is a printer on the bottom shelf, which is another useless item.
Yes. You print your projections out.
Yes.
We've talked since Sunday. Yep, we talked Monday. Monday was what game? Don't even know anymore.
Oh, the Miami, that they suck.
Oh, that was the 2-gamer.
Yeah. It ended up being literally just only playing guys from the second game. It was the worst possible thing that could have happened.
Yes.
Like even Achain was terrible.
Terrible. Tyreek Hill had 8 points, maybe 7.
They were, dude. The only guy who scored was Huntley, which that tends to happen with him. But yeah,
honestly,
and then Will Levis got hurt. Which
he's an odd dude.
His facial expressions on the sideline were very strange.
Yeah, I don't typically watch the game. It's too stressful, so I look at this.
That's me in basketball and NFL main slate. I don't watch it, but I'll watch like whatever the big 4 o'clock game is, and then the night game.
Yeah, even when we're up, like the Sunday win with Derrick Henry, I was like, I can't watch it. I can't even like look at it because something random's going to happen.
Yeah.
So 2-gamer, not tonight. We got 1-gamer. We've got two teams, Atlanta and Tampa Bay. And
typically a game is between 2 teams.
Typically, there are some instances that 3 teams play each other in one night. That's the CFL,
right?
The Tiger Cats versus the Rough Riders and Rough Riders. I think I had this belief that Atlanta defense was a force of nature, but statistically, they kind of line up with Tampa Bay's defense right now on paper, and Tampa Bay's defense stinks.
But
granted, what happened Sunday with Atlanta?
Yes. 2 DST touchdowns.
They're back. We're back. They're back.
Atlanta's strength of schedule has also been a bit harder. Tampa Bay gave up 26 to Denver, which was something that happened.
And then they beat a really bad Eagles team. Really bad.
Yeah. And the Falcons played the Eagles, but no, they won at the end. They
did on the road when they had
AJ Brown.
And Devontae Smith.
Right.
I think Atlanta is a good team, and they're a good team at home. I have Atlanta winning this game, and I think it's what's the total?
43 and a half.
I'll take the over all day.
I already put it out. Atlanta and over. I think Kirk Cousins is going to throw for a lot of yards today.
I think this is the day.
This is the day, and he's cheap. So it's cheap. Like,
right,
he's too cheap, and they're slowly figuring it out on offense. Last week, I don't think they didn't score an offensive touchdown. It was 2 DST touchdowns and 4 field goals.
That's my perfect night.
Yeah. But
no, Cousins is down on points because he just hasn't thrown any touchdowns.
Right. They just run the ball in.
So I had him at like a 21 for 245 and 2 touchdowns tonight, which puts him at 18, which is
definitely enough at his price. Because on DK, Cousins, Kirk coupons is 8,600, which is so stupid.
Yeah, especially if he throws 2. His floor is going to be 13 or 14, in my opinion. That's just one touchdown. Run contest. Who are my captains right now? I'm just looking at my exposures. It's ran one build. Obviously, it's gonna.
I'll read this on the screen until you read it.
What do you say?
Vip said something.
No, I saw that. No, I saw that. Vip. Yeah, I did. I bought 40 tanning beds for the office.
Do you go to the tanning salon?
No. I get really dark.
My wife.
Sorry, I have melanin in my skin.
My wife goes to the tanning salon. I clearly do not.
Don't do that. Does she actually get tans?
Yeah.
Not like sprays?
No, like tan. Like she tans.
No.
I know. Listen. You know, she's gonna do what she's gonna do.
Hey, man, come on. I didn't get a fancy haircut. I'm not fancy. Everyone in town always thinks this too. Oh, where do you get your coffee from? Do you have a fancy coffee press maker? I'm like, no, I make a fucking pot of coffee and I drink it. Who do you think I am?
I will say this. I have like a $1,500 coffee machine that I've never used because my wife uses it.
The only thing I like is fancier cars. That's it.
See, you know, I drive like a fucking beater truck from like 2004, but that I never actually drive. It just sits in the driveway.
I just like driving. Yeah. And by the way, never buy a Breville coffee maker. Mine
is a Breville. Mine's a Breville.
It's a fucking joke. That and neonlights.com, which only lights up when I hit the desk. There it goes.
I have many neon lights in this room. My pride is I have an Ice House one, like a bar light.
What's a flag?
I need to put that behind me. Ice House. That's the sponsor of RPS. The official beer of RPS, Ice House.
I thought you meant you put that behind you emotionally. I was like, why? Okay, so going back to pricing, $8,600 Kirk Cousins on an overtype game.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I even brought him down to 16, and he's still kind of value. The question for me on Atlanta, and it's probably the same for you. Well, the three guys stay on the field all the time: London, Mooney, and Ray McLeod, right?
Yes.
They all are pretty equal in distribution and sort of point totals.
But McLeod costs nothing.
He is by far, if he hits 9 or 10 points, the best value on the board, right?
Yeah.
It's absurd. The other part is with Kyle Pitts, right? So Kyle Pitts, let's say he's the fourth receiver, but man, he's getting a little dusty. But
it's
Kyle
crazy
Pitts,
to me. How is
Kyle Pitts 5,600?
How does such a good player in college be so? And also, tight end usually translates really well. Like if you're good in college, you're typically good in the pros. But he sucks. He sucks ass.
He sucks ass. But that's the technical term. But he's 5,600 and sub 10% for Kyle Pitts. I'm like, he's a $7,500.
And Young White Koo is fucking costs a fortune. And it's like, do you really play Koo over Kyle Pitts? Like, I wouldn't.
No. I mean, Pitts can. He played in New Orleans. He got three targets, didn't catch anything. But New Orleans has a decent defense.
This is like a dog shit. Like Tampa Bay,
dog shit.
They are so bad at defense. Like they might be worse than Washington on defense.
Washington almost beat them week 1.
Right. Well, no, they didn't. They got killed. But Washington's defense was better last week, but they still suck. Tampa Bay's probably the second worst defense in the league. The Falcons, I think, are progressing on offense somewhat, even despite the mediocre performance last week.
But a Kyle Pitts 335 in one night, which if he gets a touchdown, that's 12 and a half points.
Lock it up if he gets a touchdown.
Lock it up if he gets a touchdown because Koo shouldn't get about 12 and a half points, and they're the same price.
Right. And Koo is
Bucky Irving shouldn't get over 12 and a half points, and he's more expensive.
Yeah. How do you feel about the Bucky Irving, Rashad White situation?
Well, I thought Atlanta's defense was good, and I looked at their run defense. It's not great. I know you hate this, but I really have to do a max one rule of these two running backs. I don't, only because Baker throws it so much. I have 29 completions for Baker. Now, some of them can come to
Also,
Rashad.
Baker tends to sneak it on the one.
He's the runner. Exactly. He ran one in last week.
But Rashad White, I think, has more upside in the passing game. But the touches are slowly shifting toward Bucky Irving. Inside the 10, it's still been more White because he's bigger. So I think he's bigger off the top of my head. But
just make it up. It's fine. We'll edit it later.
I think White has more upside despite everybody wanting to suck Bucky Irving's dick right now.
I have Baker Mayfield at an 18-19 point with 2 touchdowns and not even over 300 yards. And I believe that he runs one in. He's a runner. I mean, he's got wheels and he can do it. If he's a 24-point quarterback, good God, he takes a lot of people out. He's like captain material at that point.
Baker is one of the few quote unquote pocket passers that I would consider at captain because he spreads the ball around and they have several good receivers too.
Correct.
Because he does have a propensity, especially on the goal line, to kind of go rogue and run it more than you would expect.
Yes. And it seems like they're trusting Rashad White less.
Right.
I believe that one of the running backs gets one, but I believe Baker could get one as well.
Also, I think if White gets one, it's going to be a pass.
Yeah.
Like Baker, like running,
which benefits Baker.
Running Baker or running Saber as normal. I'm getting like 95% Baker Mayfield.
Let me see what it put me at.
And Cousins. It's like all Baker Cousins lineups.
I've got 66% in flex. And I've got,
if you don't restrict it at captain, it gives you like a fuck ton of Baker at captain.
Well, what do you have been projected at?
I've
at 19, which I think is, I mean, maybe
that's low. Only at fucking 17.5.
Yeah, here's the issue. Here's the issue, is that Tampa cannot stop the run. I think the safest floor guy, if you're going to stake your life on a guy hitting his floor tonight, it's Bijan Robinson. I think some people stay away because of the injury, but at 4 a.m. when I was thinking about your CRT monitor, I also was reading Bijan Robinson quotes. He's like, listen, I just banged up. He's like, I'm fine.
Remember when the Falcons played the Eagles and Bijan Robinson was more expensive than Jalen Hurts and how stupid that was? And now he's cheaper than fucking Chris Godwin.
Correct.
Why is he cheaper than Chris Godwin?
Bijan hangs a 16 before he gets on the field, and that's without a touchdown. And tonight, I think he gets to 22. That's the if I want to be my Sunday night Derrick Henry 60% of the lineups, I'm going to fucking
lock Bijan a captain.
Just lock it. Yep.
I think that you can argue that like force min 1 QB Bijan captain across board. Try and sell the Tampa receivers at the top.
Yeah.
And play like Ray and Sterling Shepard.
Yeah. Here's what we're going to have to. I think Mike Evans could be sneaky too and not in captain. Everyone's going to play Godwin. And some people can play Drake London too, who I don't like.
Mike Evans is a better play than Godwin.
100%. And he had a big week last week.
Like I see most places are projecting Godwin above Evans. I don't think that's right.
I think Evans is back.
I think Evans is better.
I don't like Drake London as a captain. I just don't. I think Atlanta has too many.
Got there. Drake London captain got there against Philly, but it was like all on the last drive. Like he had dog shit, and then it was like
bomb
catches the touchdown. Yeah,
right. Tampa's so bad against the run. That's the thing. I know some people don't like Bijan, but he gets so much volume. He catches passes.
Bijan Allgeier combo. Bang.
Algier? Yeah.
Algier, whatever.
Yeah, I would not do a max one rule of those.
No,
Absolutely
Bijan
not.
and Algier. Yeah.
And I think people are like, there's a lot of like Algier's projection is high to me. I had to bring it down. I think a lot of people believe the hamstring injury and Bijan's going to be limited and blah, blah, blah. I think there's too much love for Algier. I don't mind the play, but Bijan is a 22-pointer.
I don't know that I prefer Algier to the kickers.
I don't either. He's a 7-pointer to me. He's a 3.5-pointer, really, at 35 yards rushing.
I could see him scoring. They give him the ball in the goal line a good amount. But he's going to have to score to get there.
Yep.
He absolutely is dust without scoring.
Who's this?
Algier.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He has to score or he's nothing.
Yeah, he's a 7-pointer not scoring
right
at best.
But the thing is, he could run 2 in, and if he runs 2 in, then he's nutted.
Right,
and if he runs 1 in, he's probably
not
nutted.
running 1 in. Right.
He could run 2 in against Tampa very easily.
That's where I think Kyle Pitts comes in. I think he gets a touchdown tonight.
Like
shock the world.
Play action,
something like that. Yeah.
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 I could see it. I mean, I feel like this happens every week. We have this conversation about Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I'm done with him. I mean, this is like Zamir White territory where I've got to have a week to say, listen, I'm done with you. You're terrible.
See, I totally disagree with this because I think his floor is so high. I think he's better in flex.
I think he needs to be in every lineup.
But the problem is we say that, right? So we're saying Bijan's such a good play because he's cheap. We're saying both quarterbacks are too cheap. It's like you're going to have to diversify a little bit. You can't just play all three of them in every lineup.
Well, rarely do we have cheap players who are going to hit. And who is the first one?
Ray and Shepard.
Shepard at 7.5, right? The other one too is if you want a real cheap, he's Cameron Johnson, the Trey Palmer, Jalen McMillan type.
Cameron Johnson with a K.
With a K.
How about Kadarius Hodge last week? By the way, so Kadarius Hodge, a receiver, he's projected for like 1, but last week on I think it was punt coverage, he recovered a fumble in the end zone and that was a touchdown.
Kadarius did?
Yeah. So that was one of the DST touchdowns was him jumping on a fumble in the end zone.
And he gets the benefit.
Yeah,
for
that would
too,
be
right?
6. Yeah.
Okay.
Just an interesting fact.
No, but what Cameron Johnson does, because he's probably going to get the most snaps of these cheapy ding dongs, is that he allows me to eliminate a lot of the other guys down there that I don't think could outscore him. I don't think there's like a $200 14-point guy. I think Cameron Johnson on a super stud night like you were talking about, where all the studs are hitting, and
he's definitely the best played on there. And if you play, those Ray Shepard punt builds are going to be ubiquitous on this slate.
God. Popular.
It's like every fucking build is going to be Ray and Shepard.
Yeah. So who does
Although that's a way to get Mike Evans.
That's why Mike Evans is low projected at captain. That's why Mike Evans is low projected, and that's why Kyle Pitts is.
Dude,
too.
I'm going to play Mike Evans at least 20% at captain.
That's exactly what I thought this morning. I said 60% Bijan, 20% Evans.
Got to go Mike Evans.
Mayfield, and Godwin.
Well, the thing about Cousins is if he spreads the ball out, like at that cheap of a price, like I hate playing pocket quarterbacks at captain, but Cousins is that cheap. It fits so much. You could have a situation where he's not the top scorer and he ends up being the captain.
Could. Yeah.
He's like that quarterback, that price for a passing quarterback does not make any sense. No. So, since when are we on the favored team? The quarterback for the favored team with a prop of like whatever the fuck it is, like 230, 240 yards, is only 8,600. What is this pricing?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
This is right, Justin. I believe that's probably, without a touchdown, that's probably a ceiling. But you have to factor that if he does get 6 points with a touchdown, that's 12. And then you're in some serious.
That's 12. And then if he scores another one, that's 18.
Right. And that's what happens when two
three.
Teams play each other, which happens most nights at the NFL. Brought to you by a giant glass of Kool-Aid.
Is that what you think this is?
I probably think it's not, but I really want to know what it is now. Heroin?
It is Grey Goose, blue curacao, and water.
What's on the end of the straw?
Oh, that's the mouthpiece, bro. So it's not metal. It's a metal straw.
Grey Goose, blue curacao,
and water. Just a little bit.
And Nathan one time from my office went to a bar and just ordered just to troll a Malibu Jack. And they're like, what's that? It's just Malibu rum and Jack Daniels in a warm glass.
What's the Kanye West line? Malibu, yeah. Grey Goose and Malibu.
Oh God,
Malibu, yeah.
Y'all don't like Otten at captain. Let's go to Otten, actually.
So I'm definitely not playing on in captain.
No, but Otten definitely out of the tight end group for Tampa Bay.
And I think that he'll go under-owned because McLeod is right there.
Yeah, and Otten can match McLeod easily. I boosted him up to 10 points.
I like Otten a lot.
Yeah.
I think that the Falcons pass defense is pretty good, and so Baker may find himself throwing shorter routes than normal.
Yeah,
and Otten would benefit from that. So would Godwin theoretically, but that's why Evans is going to be low owned, and that's why Evans, because Evans could get 30, and then he's nutted, and if he's only 5%, like everybody else is fucked. I'm not gonna end up short on Evans. I'm not letting that happen.
You can't. I mean, if he had a dud week last week, I'd probably consider it, but he did his typical Evans thing last week.
What's the record that he has? He's like the only receiver in NFL history who has like gotten 1,000 yards for his first 9 seasons all in a row and made the Pro Bowl every time or something like that. Like he's just the most consistent guy, and it's all on bombs, which is crazy. Because how do you have consistent performance on bombs with like 10 different quarterbacks? But he does, and it's just because he's so big and physical that he can catch it over anybody.
Yeah.
Like think about the fact that he was Manziel's guy at A&M, and how long ago Manziel washed out, and he's still the same guy.
Yep. I like that. Doesn't mean I won't I'll have some Godwin. I don't know if would you might have to limit it to one Godwin, one Evans because of the price?
No, because they play completely different roles. Godwin's not going deep down the field very much.
Yeah, he has to run into those safeties too.
I think that if you have them both, you probably need Baker, but I don't know.
Yeah.
With Cousins being that price, it's like if they both nut and Baker gets 20 and Cousins gets 20, it's like Cousins is better because he's cheaper. So no, you just need one quarterback. One quarterback, I think for sure. Like there's no way you should be playing no QB lineups tonight.
So you got 76% of people playing, 36% playing White, 30% playing Bucky Irving. Let's say a portion of them play them together. But you're looking at 60% of people are going to have a Tampa Bay running back in their lineup. I think for me, if I'm going to take a stand, that might be a leverage point for me because of the expense and because I think they're going to split it up and because I'm going to just believe that Baker's going to run one in or could run one in or passes to Kate Otten.
What question was this? I don't. What's he talking about?
They both what, JBC? They both nut. He said they both nut.
Nut? Did I say nut?
Yeah, he wanted you to say it again.
They both nut.
Yeah, there you go.
Nut.
Oh. Everyone's like, oh.
Yeah. Clip that.
Yeah. Clip that. Hey, Ryan, clip that.
No, but I like White a lot more than Bucky Irving because I don't think Bucky Irving has a ton of upside. He'll get the ball some. He could run one in, but like White has the potential for them to dump the ball to him like a fuck ton. And I prefer White's receiving game. And in my mind, Atlanta's going to be ahead. So if Atlanta's ahead, White's on the field, I think.
Yeah, but just a $7,000 price point.
I've got like a $5,000 buy-in league, like season-long league, where I'm having to decide between
Flex
White and like Kareem Hunt, I think.
Right. I mean, you have Rashad White $1,800 less than Kirk Cousins. Does Rashad White on any spectrum for you outscore Kirk Cousins?
If he starts like crushing if Tampa Bay gets out to a lead and they start handing him the ball, like Atlanta's rush defense isn't that great.
Yeah, it's a yes.
So I would say it's like 10% that he or less.
10%. Yeah, exactly.
He would have to score twice and then also Kirk not do that well.
Yep.
Yes, B-Nair is correct. Last week, Irving got all the snaps in the red zone, whereas in every single other week, White got every snap. So that could be a turning point because literally through 3 weeks, every single red zone snap, was White, and then last week they completely flipped it.
Yeah,
So,
I remember in the preseason, Buccaneers coach really wasn't convinced on Rachaad White being the guy, and he had to sort of backtrack from it, but he said it. I mean, I think.
Well, I was even thinking last year, like he got the ball so much, but I never thought he wasn't a good prospect, and his like yards per carry weren't very good. I think they just kept giving him the ball just because they had
nothing else to do, right?
Yeah, like they have to have a running back.
Yeah, and he got 7 catches a game. I mean, short little passes.
Yeah, they had to go to him, and now they're like, oh, we have a guy that doesn't suck.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rachaad White looks like he's moving in slow motion. Like Rachaad White, when he's running, looks like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Which Jalen Hurts might be an okay running back, I guess, but not.
I just think you have too many options at the goal line that take it away from Rachaad White, and sometimes you just have to believe that's going to happen. And if 36% of the field's playing Rachaad White, I'm like, fuck, I don't think he's going to be on the winning lineup. Let's take out 36% of the lineups.
I am much more inclined to gamble on White than Bucky.
Really?
Because of the receiving upside.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Daniel's 100% agreed with me, just to let you know. Everyone agrees. It doesn't mention the name. It's always me. Just to let you know. He's agreeing with you. Fuck. Stuck in the fucking mud. Yeah.
Bucky's also like been banged up the last few weeks. So if he's actually okay now, like really, really okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Problem.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough on the Atlanta receivers too. I mean, Darnell Mooney, Drake London are expensive.
Mooney is just so dependent on
deep ball
variance. It's like he either has to catch a bomb or he sucks.
Yeah.
So for Showdown, that's fine. But I wouldn't like commit yourself to it like real hard. No. I'd much rather have London personally.
Yeah. Where I think that a min amount forced defense just for the oddball shit that might happen.
Well, like Atlanta scored 2 touchdowns last week.
That's right. They were 18 points. They were optimal in like the first quarter.
Of course, they didn't end up optimal because San Francisco. But
how much drink is left? Holy crap! You're going through that. How many deals do you have a night? Or how many do you have tonight? 12.
I don't know. We'll find out. Yesterday was a little heavy because of the Astros losing. I was sad.
I got my blood drawn to the doctor, and he's like, "How many drinks per week?"
Yeah, that question's always like.
I said per week. Can we go per day?
Yeah, it's like, how? Because I feel like when you're young, it's like your parents like teach you to like kind of keep that shit close to the vest with the doctor, but like you need to tell the doctor. So I just tell the doctor.
Yeah, he's like 20 per week. That's a lot. No, per hour, per day.
Yeah, no, it's like how many per day? I'm like
35 ish.
Yeah, right. That's like even that is. Yeah.
Okay. Defense, min amount of it. I don't think the Tampa Bay defense does anything. I think the Atlanta defense will probably have more of, but it'll have both. I probably don't want defense in more than 15% of my lineup, so that may be too high.
I'm like, I'm debating just fading the defenses, which is long term. That's my go-to is to just fuck defense, fuck kicker. And tonight I might.
Well, then I have to hear about it. Fuck.
I might literally tonight go back to the old me and fuck defense, fuck kicker, fade all of it.
I would fade kicker like Koo at 5,400.
Koo is so expensive. Dude, the kickers are too expensive. The defenses suck. I might just fade it all. Especially
if they're getting touchdowns tonight. I was like, I had to push them to 9 at best. I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of money for 9.
Here's the thing. Like this, even if they get this, right? Are they optimal? If Ray McLeod gets 12, then they suck.
And if it's a high scoring game, I mean, that's like, even if they get a touchdown. Last week it was 2. That would never happen.
I think it's going to be one of those weird ones where it's like every guy on your team is going to have at least 12.
Yeah, kickers higher owned than Pitts. That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
They will be
on a 7-point projection. Exactly, Antonio.
It's like Koo it would have to be like last week where Koo gets like fucking 20.
He's not. He's not.
Well, I mean, that's
He's
like
not.
obviously it's within the realm of outcomes, but it's not likely.
What if Koo catches the first pass for a touchdown?
He did. I remember him doing that in college because he was at Georgia Southern, and I just kept thinking to myself, how the hell does Georgia Southern have a guy from Korea as the kicker? Like, how did that happen? Like, how did that recruitment go?
This
Like,
is what I want to hear, though.
Come to Statesboro. Was he born here?
I don't know.
It's like come to Statesboro, Georgia, and kick, and like bang a bunch of co-eds that are idiots and get herpes. Like I
think he's from Nicholasville, Kentucky.
I just don't understand. Wait,
no, Seoul, South Korea. You're right. This is what I want the market to think. Pitts is going with pads. I trust their points more than Pitts. People are convincing themselves Pitts isn't going to do anything tonight. It
makes me want to play Pitts.
I'm going to play Pitts. A
50 banger from either.
I don't think they're doing 50.
I don't think that's right. It could be right, but if Pitts catches a touchdown, they're drawing dead.
Yeah, it's not a 50 banger night, kicking wise.
What's Pitts' anytime touchdown? Let's check DraftKings.com. DraftKings, pick six, DraftKings.
Plus 450. That's what I'm going to say.
Plus 450? Wait, you actually looked that up?
No, I just guessed
it. No, that seems high.
Yeah. At least I put a number out there.
TD scorer.
Chat.
260.
260. Okay.
Bucky Irving's only 155 and Rashad White's 210. That's interesting.
That's too much.
I would much rather take White at 210 than Irving at 155.
So what does the market really like tonight? They like kickers, they like Bucky Irving, and they like Chris Godwin.
That's the four worst place on the board.
That's I pull the lever. We've got leverage.
Always have leverage. Doesn't always work out.
No.
Tyreek Hill leverage sucked.
Okay. I think we've scoped out this game. What's the final score to you?
27-24 Atlanta.
This is sick. Remember the last game on Monday? You had the exact same scores as me.
Yeah.
Swear on my life, I have 27-24 Atlanta. That's what I forced to score in SaberSim.
We're speaking. We should bet that. Here, pull it up right now and bet the
final score.
The exacta.
Yeah.
The exact score. You could probably get your 117 to 1 on that.
27-20. That's fun. We should do that. Bucks money line. People like the Bucks. I know they look pretty confident getting on that plane to Atlanta, but
I'll say this: Atlanta, they don't get a rap as like a great crowd, but like when the Panthers played there, the last time that I attended where I wore an opposing jersey was when Cam had just gotten to the Panthers, and I got spit on multiple times walking into the stadium.
No shit.
So they're not like, absentee fans. They're into it. And it was like right in front of a police officer too, and he just laughed at me.
Did he tell him you're the king of auto-tune? Did that change things?
You're like, no, fuck this guy. He's wearing a Cam Newton jersey to a Falcons game, even though Cam went to high school like 10 minutes from the stadium.
Oh, B. McNair would spit on you. Sick. That's sickening.
That is sickening. Kevin, are you sure you weren't in Philly? I will say this. So
that'd be scary.
Soon after COVID, I went with a couple of my friends to DraftKings gave us tickets to Hawks Philly playoff game. We're playing blackjack at the Live right there by the arena, and I sat down and I had a Hawks shirt on, and the blackjack dealer stops what he's doing, looks me square in the eye, and goes, "Watch yourself tonight out there."
That's really? What jersey did you have on?
Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Watch yourself! Like you're gonna get your fucking ass beat."
And then he just took another drink of blue curacao.
Yeah, he was like, "I was like, all right, I don't think you're my favorite blackjack dealer here." South Philly, exactly.
South Philly, yeah.
I did not get my ass beat because I was with a guy wearing a Sixers uniform, so I had some kind of.
You were with Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Yeah, the straw condom. It's blowing my mind, Joe Halavity. All right, snake draft brought to you by DraftKings. Snake draft. Grab yourself one today. So we snake draft 3 captains. We can't duplicate. No duplicates. Right. I'll go first. You pick 2.
Okay.
Captain 1, Bijan Robinson.
Evans and Godwin.
Okay. I'm going Evans and Mayfield. No dupes.
After that, I gotta think I like Drake London, and then White would be next.
Rashad White.
Yeah, I like White over that. I don't like playing quarterback at captain. Like, it's not unless it's Lamar or Jalen Hurts.
1,000%. It's never the right play, except for if you're Josh Allen, Lamar, or
Jalen Hurts,
Jaden Daniels,
or Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
but
we haven't had Jaden Daniels in a prime time yet.
Baker Mayfield takes 6 away from Rashad White.
But here's the thing: Baker Mayfield is going to get crazy on the captain today. Like, I feel like it's going to be way too high. I don't want it.
I don't think so.
Well, I think Baker Mayfield over 15% captain.
Okay, so you would be above where the market's projecting it right now.
I'm not going to do it, but I think that he's going to be that much.
Mike Evans is the stupidest projection on captain. I believe it'll come true. 5% people.
That's insane. I might just fucking hammer it.
3 or 4 Daniels.
Here are the captains that I'm going to play today, as of right now. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Bijan Robinson, Drake London. That might be it. It's either it or just Rashad White after that.
Be funny if you named a kicker just to completely contradict yourself.
Yeah, so that would be 4. Evans, Godwin, Robinson, London.
What do you mean? What do you mean they took White rush yards off?
You could cut London down if you don't want him and only play the top 3.
What does he mean by this? They took White rush yards off the board as a projection or what? J Main, explain yourself. J Main 34.
I think he's talking about the book.
And 35. No quarterback at captain but flex. Typically, that's what you should do. The problem is, I'm envisioning Baker run one in for 23 points total tonight. That's a huge game for a quarterback.
I don't think here's the thing. 23 might not be enough.
Really? You think so?
Bijan, Mike Evans, Godwin, one of them goes over that.
Exactly.
Was that you nutting again?
Yeah. People loved it. Clip that. Clip me nutting with Mark's straw condom on. I opened all the packs.
The straw. Now I get the straw condom. I was thinking literally a condom made out of straw. And I'm like, that what? Like, I was so confused. I was so confused.
For her pleasure.
The ladder play of the day. Oh man, the ladder play of the day has got to be one of the Tampa running backs in case the other one sucks and they just go crazy.
I think a ladder play of the day is fading the Tampa running backs. Let's go.
Or that.
All right. Let's get out of here. 3:44 p.m. Eastern time.
What's your play of the day?
Oh, my play of the day? I said fading the Tampa Bay running backs.
That could be a play.
That is what I'm doing. That's my play of the day. I'm countering
Mike Evans.
Yeah, I'm an anti-play. So the logic and the content is we're both right.
Yes. That's
how you do it.
Yep.
I'll edit that out when we go.
Bobby Boom says P. Diddy play of the day, Rashad White.
Bobby Boom.
Bobby Boom.
All right. God bless. See you on the flip side.